Hey everyone, welcome back to TechBit Academy. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Okay, let's dive right in. When you hear the job titled Project Manager, what pops into your head? You probably picture someone just sitting there, relentlessly checking off items on this massive, never-ending list of chores, right? Well, today, we're going to completely reframe that. We're breaking down the true anatomy of a project manager. I want you to think of a PM not just as some administrator, but literally as the central nervous system of any successful endeavor. Just picture for a second the absolute chaos of a major workplace initiative. You've got countless moving parts, impossibly tight deadlines looming over you, and oh yeah, a dozen different personalities all clashing in one room. It's a lot. So in the midst of all that noise, who is actually responsible when a project succeeds or fails? When the dust finally settles, who ultimately carries the heavy weight of that outcome?
Well, a project manager is the person responsible for the success of the project. Let that sink in for just a second. I mean, it doesn't say they're just responsible for the paperwork, does it? It doesn't say they just host the meetings. It clearly dictates they are responsible for the success. A PM isn't just checking boxes. They shoulder the absolute ultimate burden of whether the entire project lives or dies. Think about it. If the code deploys but the client hates it, yeah, that's on the PM. If the budget holds up perfectly but the team completely burns out, also on the PM.
So let's break down how they actually do this. Section 1, the 5 pillars of the role.
To handle that immense, crushing weight we just talked about, a project manager's brain power and daily energy gets divided up into 5 equal pillars: planning, organizing, leading, controlling, and risk handling. And honestly, this is a constant, incredibly vital balancing act. Over-index on planning, your team's going to be stuck and never actually execute. Focus way too heavily on controlling, you're going to absolutely destroy team morale. Every single one of these roles requires equal dedication to keep the project breathing.
In those crucial early phases, you're essentially acting as the brain. And look, planning isn't just throwing together a quick schedule. It's really about defining the very boundaries of reality for the project. You're figuring out exactly what needs to be done and, honestly, more importantly, what absolutely must be ignored. But as we all know, a brilliant plan is completely useless without execution. So that's where organizing comes in. That's where you force order onto that initial chaos. You take this grand, kind of abstract vision and break it down into actionable reality by assigning precise tasks to your team.
Now, once that project is actually in motion, this really delicate psychological balance starts to emerge. On one hand, you are the heart of the project. That's leading. You've got to motivate the team, shield them from unnecessary stress, and just keep their spirits high when things get tough. But right across from that is the pulse, and that's controlling. You have to rigorously track progress and hold people accountable. It's wild because you are simultaneously playing the empathetic cheerleader and the disciplined enforcer. It's a duality that's incredibly difficult to master, but absolutely crucial.
So what happens when things inevitably go wrong? Because let's face it, they always do. That brings us to 2 simple, heavy words: solve problems. This is risk handling. Picture that sudden stomach-dropping panic of a derailment. Maybe a key vendor goes bankrupt, or a crucial deadline slips, or your core system just completely crashes. The PM cannot panic. No way. You have to be the calm, almost involuntary reflex that steps in and solves the problem before the entire initiative shuts down. You are literally the safety net for everyone else's mistakes.
Moving right along to Section 2, mastering stakeholder communication.
Deals with stakeholders. Man, it sounds so dry and innocent, doesn't it? But anyone who's ever been in the professional trenches knows this is a unique and honestly often daunting challenge. You have to somehow manage the wild, constantly shifting, and sometimes downright contradictory expectations of external stakeholders. And at the exact same time, you're building this fortified wall to shield your internal team from all that outside noise, just so they can actually focus and do the work. You are the great communicator to the outside world and the great filter for the inside.
Bringing it all together, let's look at Section 3, the Essential PM Toolkit.
To actually pull off those 5 pillars we just talked about, you need an ultimate superpower toolkit. We're talking leadership, communication, time management, problem solving, and technical understanding. Think about how these all stack together in the real world. I mean, you can't lead a frustrated team without elite communication, right? You can't solve a critical bottleneck without at least a baseline technical understanding of the work that's being done. These are not just fluffy corporate buzzwords you slap on a resume. They are the literal, everyday tools you pull out of your belt hour by hour to keep the whole shebang from collapsing. Because here's the thing,
every single core skill maps directly to a daily survival tactic. Your leadership, that's what actually motivates the team. Your communication is honestly your only real weapon for dealing with stakeholders. Time management is what makes creating that schedule even possible. Problem solving is the engine behind risk handling. And those technical skills, they're required to accurately define a scope that won't just blow up in your face a month later. Now, why does this all matter to you? Well, because even if your official job title doesn't say project manager, mastering the synergy of these tools is absolutely essential for taking control of any chaotic workflow in your life.
So, we've broken down the complete anatomy. You've seen the 5 pillars, the intense communication demands, and that essential toolkit required to make it all happen. You know exactly what it takes to navigate the chaos now. So, the question I want to leave you with today is this. Armed with this understanding, are you ready to apply these skills, step up, and take ultimate responsibility for the success of your very next endeavor?